Welcome to the Musar video blog. This week's Torah reading, Tazria Mitzora, is about the person who contracts tzoras. Whatever this biblical disease, it comes for numerous things: slander, lashon hara. It comes for promiscuity. It could come for other terrible things the Gemara mentions. But one of the things that happens when a person contracts this is he has to go outside the camp, and he has to be in self-isolation. So it really is very much resembling the situation that we're in. We're all kind of like, it's sort of like this mitzvah, this person who's contracted this is outside the camp, there by himself. Okay, there's differences. But I was thinking about what is, like, from a Torah perspective, what is this isolation? Well, of course, my favorite book, Chovos HaLevavos, Duties of the Heart, he talks about the advantages of being by oneself. And he has a whole list of things that one is spared by not being together with people. Now, we like people, and it's great to be with people, and there's all kinds of wonderful blessings, advantages of being with people, but there's also drawbacks. For example, you're with people, gossip. People that gossip. You might get sucked into the gossip. That's not a good thing. Sometimes people, there's animosity, tension between them. A person could lose control, get impatient, get angry, say insulting words. That's not good. And just oftentimes the influence. People could toss out ideas or do things that are really not something in my best interest. I want to be a holy spiritual being. I want to go in God's ways, and sometimes people do things that are inconsistent with that, and it could have an impact upon me. So those are some of the numerous advantages of not being together with people. But one thing he mentions that really I took note of, he says that when you're together with people, there's a lack of an awareness of God. The idea of standing in awe, of revering God, recognizing God as the master of the universe, this all-pervasive force that is in control of everything. Well, when you're with other people, it's very, very easy to forget that. Like, you get caught up in what you're doing, and you're not cognizant that there's a God. Of course, subconsciously we know it. Maybe some people can bring it to the forefront of their minds, but it's a very challenging thing to do, to really keep the focus of God. So he says, when you're by yourself, it's much easier to recognize that there is a God, that God created the world, that God runs the world, that God is in control over me, and that what it means that there's this awesome, all-powerful, whatever you want to call it, being, and that I'm just a mere mortal, and that whatever power I have, if I think I really have intrinsic power, that's just a facade. And so a person can really come to a much truer understanding of what God is about, and of course that's a prerequisite to truly living a godly life, a holy and inspired, a lofty, elevated life, is to have a true awareness of God. So that's an incredible advantage that we have right now. Again, I wish we get out of this soon, I do, but while we're in it, we should definitely take advantage of this self-isolation and use it to really think and to really make God much more real in our lives, and to really deepen the sense that we had of what it means that there is a divine being that is in control of all this. See you next time.